Expo, one of the students who were supposed to do a presentation came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm very nervous about my presentation. What should I do? I don't know what to say." I gave her some key pointers. We rehearsed together and she was so relieved after that, and she did really well. It was a very heartwarming moment to see how much of an impact I could have had on somebody else's life in that short space of time.
The VM Group has touch points in communities right across the island, and our community development focus area allows us an opportunity to have an adaptive framework for responding to the most pressing needs of these, our beneficiaries and members. In 2024, we raised over $400,000 to donate to students that were affected by fire that attend the UTEC. We also supported communities and families that were affected by Hurricane Beryl in the parish of Clarendon in two communities, Rocky Point and Buckner. They were so delighted to receive care packages and just to get that encouraging feeling of knowing that we at VM care about them enough to come to their locations and provide them with this tangible support.
Trauma affects a lot of children in the schools, and partnership with an organization like VM Foundation helps us to implement evidence-based intervention like Bounce Back in schools, which helps teachers to manage their own stress as well as helps them to help the children in the classroom to trauma-proof them so they can focus better, they behave better in the schools, in the communities, and in their families.
Since the partnership with VM Foundation and the implementation of the Bounce Back program at Holy Trinity High, the teachers have expressed great appreciation for this program, emphasizing the fact that it has enabled them to be able to deal with traumatic experiences with their children, and they are able to get more cooperation from their children with the activities that are being incorporated in the classroom.
I would encourage other persons to get involved with the VM Foundation.
Find what works for you and be a part of the VM Foundation.
By being a volunteer in the planning and the execution of some of the programs, you can give tangible or intangible contribution to the VM Foundation.
You have what someone else needs, and you never know how much a small act of service can really change someone's life.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let us begin this afternoon's proceeding by moving a motion for the notice of the meeting to be taken as read. Could I have a motion? Mr. Golson? Yes, sir. I'm sorry? Livingston Young. Motion. And seconder, Brian Golson. Sorry. I am Michael McMorris, chairman of the VM Group. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our second annual general meeting of the VM Group. We have lots to report on today, and we are truly grateful to have you with us. I want to thank you for being here in person, particularly, and for those joining online as well. I now invite Dan Campbell, manager of VMBS May Pen, to lead us in prayer. Dan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand. Close your eyes. Yes. All right, let us pray. Father God, we come before you today with grateful hearts, acknowledging your goodness and provision. We thank you for bringing us to this moment and for the opportunity to share in another VM Group Limited AGM. May your favor rest upon us, and may we continue to operate in integrity and diligence in all that we do. We pray for unity and harmony within our company and for your abundant provision. According to your word in Psalm 127, it says, "Unless the Lord builds a house, the builders labor in vain. Unless you, Lord, watch over the VM Group, the guards stand watch in vain. We exalt you as master builder of the VM group. May this organization continue to be built by you, Lord, and I pray that our labor will not be in vain. We commit whatever we do that you may establish your plans. We pray for the leadership of this noble institution. We pray, O God, that you will give them discernment and knowledge in leadership, that they will lead and continue to lead with integrity and humility, that they will govern with fairness and wisdom, and that, Father, they will live peaceful and godly lives. Father, your word commissions us to pray for the peace and prosperity of the VM group, for in its prosperity, we also will prosper. May you continue to guide our steps and direct the path of this company. We pray for the peace of the people who work for the organization. May you continue to guide us. We pray that you will continue to provide for us and bless the works of our hand, that whatever we touch, it will prosper. May you continue to protect us and grant us favor. Lord, your word says, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and forgive our sins. Lord, let your eyes be open and your ears be attent unto the prayers made in this place. Lord, let your name be exalted here at the VM group forever, and let your eyes and your heart be here perpetually. Lord, we thank you that you sit enthroned. Now unto him who is able to do immeasurably more than we could ask, think, or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. We thank you, God. May glory and honor be to your name throughout ages, world without end. Bless the proceedings of this meeting. We thank you for giving us life and grace. In your precious son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Diane. Before we begin the first formal item, let me take the opportunity to introduce your directors, members, and I'm going to do this in order of the VM group directors and then those other directors that are also here from the various subsidiaries. I'm going to ask the directors to stand as I introduce them. And I'll keep moving quickly, so we won't spend a lot of time on that. But let me introduce you to Maurice McNaughton, Maurice, Michael McAnuff-Jones, and Michael is also chairman of VM Pensions, and Brian Golson, and Brian is chairman of VM BS, and of course you have Courtney Campbell and myself, Courtney. The VM directors that are not here in person with us but are online are Jeannie Robinson Foster, Matthew Wright, and Sandra Shirley Oxley. The other directors across the group that are here in person, and I thank them for being here, our newly minted, or newest minted, I should say, Director Dennis Cohen of VMFG, Dennis. Colin Wharf, all the way from Trinidad, and Colin was formerly a VMG director as well. Maya Waldron, chairperson of VMTS, chairman, chairwoman, chairperson, right? Okay. And we have Lisa Bell from VM Pensions. And there are a couple of executive directors who you will see on the management team as well. Frederick Williams, Peter Reed, and Rez Burchison, right? I think I got everybody. Paul Elliott, Paul, right. Another director that's in person, who is sitting behind the floors so I don't see him, is Milton Samuda from VMIL. Milton. And VM, yes, as well. Other directors that are online, Maria Robinson from VMIL, Michael Boyne from the VM Foundation, Del Cooper from VMF UK, Keith Jennings from VMFG, Paul Andrews from VMF UK as well. So thank you all for joining us. And members, these are some of your directors, not all of them, but many of them, and I thank them for being here. The first item on the agenda is the presentation of the auditor's report and statement of accounts for the year ended 31st December 2024, as well as the director's report. Damian Reed from KPMG, Damian, auditor of the VM for the VM Group, will now come forward and present the auditor's report and statement of accounts. Damian.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon. I'll be taking you through the independent auditor's report. Can be found on page 118. Now, the auditor's report today comprises of two main sections: the report on the financial statements and also report on the additional matters as required by the Jamaica Companies Act. I'll now start with our presentation of our report on the financial statements. Independent Auditor's Report to the members of VM Group Limited. Opinion. We have audited the financial statements of VM Group Limited, the company, comprising the separate financial statements of the company and the consolidated financial statements of the company and its subsidiaries, the group, as set out on pages 120 to 189, which comprise the group's and company's income statements, statements of comprehensive income, changes in equity, and cash flows for the year then ended, and notes comprising material accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the group and the company as at December 31st, 2024, and of the group's and the company's financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board, IFRS accounting standards, and in the manner required by the Jamaican Companies Act. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibility under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including International Independent Standards, ISBA Code. We have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with ISBA Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Other information. Management is responsible for other information. Other information comprises the information included in the annual report, but does not include the financial statements or our auditor's report thereon. The annual report is expected to be made available to us after the date of our auditor's report. Our opinion on the financial statements does not cover the other information and will not be expressed any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statements, our responsibility is to read the other information identified above when becomes available, and in doing so, consider whether other information is materially inconsistent with the financial statements or our knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. When we read the annual report, if we conclude that there is a material misstatement therein, we are required to communicate the matter to those charged with governance. Responsibilities of management and those charged with governance for the financial statements. Management is responsible for the preparation of the financial statements that gives a true and fair view in accordance with IFRS accounting standards and the Jamaican Companies Act. For such internal control as management determined is necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statements that are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, management is responsible for assessing the company's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters relating to going concern and the use of the going concern basis of accounting, unless management either intends to liquidate the company or cease operations, or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the group's financial reporting process. auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements. Our objective are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are, as a whole, are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error, are considered material if individually or in aggregate they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decision of the users taken on the basis of these financial statements. As part of our audit in accordance with ISAs, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omission, misrepresentation, or the override of internal control. We also obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the group's internal control. We also evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies and policy use and reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosure made by management. We also conclude on the appropriateness of management's use of the going concern basis of accounting, and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists relating to events or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the company's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosure in the financial statements, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of our auditor's report. However, future events or conditions may cause the company to cease to continue as a going concern. We also evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statements, including disclosures, whether the financial statements represent the underlying transaction and events in a manner that gives a true and fair view. We also obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the entities or business activities within the group to express an opinion on the consolidated financial statements. We are responsible for the direction, supervision, and performance of the group audit. We remain solely responsible for our opinion. We communicate to those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including significant deficiencies in internal controls that we identify during the audit. I'll now turn to our report on additional matters as required by the Jamaica Companies Act. We have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been maintained so far as appear from our examination of those records, and the financial statements which are in agreement therewith give the information required by the Jamaican Companies Act in the manner required. KPMG Chartered Accountants, Kingston, Jamaica, April 30, 2025. Thank you.
So Damien, all that to say, we're good. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Damien. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now present the chairman's message, which you can find in your annual report, your printed annual report and your online annual report. The Jamaican economy during 2024 was resilient in an environment of mixed economic outcomes. GDP contracted by approximately 0.7% due to the significant impact of Hurricane Beryl. This caused major disruptions, particularly in the agricultural, forestry, and fishing sectors, as well as the electricity and water supply and hotels and restaurant sectors. And these led to economic contractions of 3.5%, 0.8% in Q3 and Q4, respectively. Despite this, inflation and other economic indicators showed positive trends. Inflation peaked at 7.39% in January, but eased to 4.9% by the year end, within the Bank of Jamaica's 4 to 6% target range. The BOJ responded with 4 interest rate cuts, bringing the policy rate down to 6%, while the Jamaican dollar depreciated slightly by 0.94% year over year, influenced by BOJ's foreign exchange interventions. Additionally, the country also realized the lowest record of unemployment in history at 3.5%. In our overseas markets, Barbados, a new theater for us, recorded 4% economic growth led by tourism, construction, and business services. The United Kingdom's growth was constrained by inflation and fiscal challenges, while the United States maintained robust GDP growth and labor market vibrancy. Financially, the VM Group rebounded effectively, recording a net profit of $823 million compared to a loss of $375 million in 2023. Our strategic initiatives drove continued growth across key financial indicators. Total loans increased to $126 billion, up from $122 billion in 2023. The savings portfolio grew to $153 billion compared to $142 billion the previous year, while total assets expanded to $224 billion, surpassing the $214 billion reported in 2023. In the current economic environment, we continue to grapple with costs, but are convinced that leveraging our relatively new group holding structure will allow us to drive improved efficiency across all our strategic business units. Growth in total loans, deposits, and assets reflect the strength of the VM brand as a financial partner of choice for hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans, locally and internationally, and provides a solid foundation for future profitability. VM Group's performance was underpinned by focused execution of our strategic priorities. Our 2024 strategy centered on 4 key pillars: building a strong integrated group, evolving as a modern mutual by leveraging digital innovation and superior customer experience, fostering a highly engaged and talented workforce as the employer of choice, and empowering members through enhanced financial literacy and inclusive financial solutions. Within the strategic framework, VM Financial Group expanded its lending portfolio and business services offerings, introducing new credit products, streamlining digital payment capabilities, and enhancing our member engagement channels. The successful launch of VM Wealth in Barbados extended our regional footprint, and the continued development of VM Finance UK both delivered on our objective to pursue growth beyond traditional markets. Equally, our cross-group focus to harness the length and breadth of our experience in various aspects of real estate have enabled us to offer VM as a unique partner in the creation of financial security and wealth through real estate. From mortgages and other types of specialized lending to property services, real estate unit trusts, and select developer partnerships, we believe that our value proposition across markets is compelling and will serve us increasingly well into the future. Finally, our other key vehicle for delivering on the promise of mutuality, the VM Foundation, sustained its vital role in community development in 2024, and you'd have seen that from the video. This was done through initiatives such as VM Ignite, VM Uplift, and the Adopt a Clinic program, and the Mental Health Intervention Project RISE. We supported youth development, health education, and inclusion. Scholarship and bursary programs further exemplify our commitment to empowering communities. I extend my deepest gratitude to my fellow directors for their steadfast guidance and vision. And in particular, I thank Director Noel DeCosta, who retired in 2024. The group benefited tremendously from his dedicated service and invaluable contributions. Walk good, Noel. Give him a round of applause, please. A true servant of the mutual. I also commend our leadership team and all team members for their professionalism and commitment to executing our mission. To our members and clients, your continued trust is our greatest asset, and it remains a privilege to serve you. Looking ahead with confidence, as we look to 2025 and beyond, the VM Group remains poised to innovate, adapt, and evolve with confidence. Rooted in our heritage and guided by our mission, we are committed to building a stronger, more dynamic organization that delivers lasting value to all stakeholders. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll hear from Courtney Campbell, the CEO of VM Group Limited. Courtney.
Thanks, Chairman McMorris. I greet all the directors of the VM Group, not only directors of the VM Group, but subsidiaries of the VM Group. I want to greet and thank all the team members of the VM Group, the executive team, the managers, all of our team members, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for your commitment and your purposeful work. May I ask all well, let me start with the executives. May I invite the executives to stand, the executives of the group. We meet every Monday morning, at least, and several other times during the week. And I benefit from your patience. So I won't name all of them, but these are the executives. You'll hear from them individually as we go through and probably answer questions. So thank you, execs. Our new executive as a CFO is Mr. Frederick Williams, who will raise his hand there. Our group chief sales officer is Amanda. Amanda, please stand. Collins Madden. Our new chief risk officer is Dennis Gray. Please greet Dennis. Thank you very much. I think I've covered everyone. Have I covered all the new execs? Yeah? Okay, good. But most of all, thank you to you, our members, for your loyalty, for your business. And thank you to all our partners. We appreciate your presence here this afternoon. So let's rock and roll. A reminder of who we are, your VM Group. We're a purpose-driven modern mutual. What is our purpose? We'll get to that soon. But we're diversified and integrated. We're full service, offering all the financial services you can think of, either from within the group or through our partners. So for example, we may not offer life insurance directly in the group, but we have partners through whom we can access you as members can access life insurance products. We create wealth through real estate. That's how we differentiate ourselves, and you'll hear more about that later. We're global, and I'm going to show you a map of all the territories in which VM does business. We are continuously transforming, and we, very importantly, see ourselves as advocates for a better world. We believe in sustainability. And finally, we are committed to Jamaica's development, not only Jamaica's development, but all the markets in which we operate. So our vision is to be a leading Caribbean-based member-focused organization transforming lives. We want to impact lives by advancing the financial well-being of individuals globally. We take our values very seriously. We may change our business objectives from time to time, but our values are eternal. And what are our values? Member focus. We're focused on you every day, every minute of the day. We're thinking about how to help you to achieve financial well-being, how to make financial service more convenient for you, more secure for you. We believe in integrity, that our word is our bond, that you should be able to depend on our promises. We believe in teamwork. We're working with all our colleagues from across the world, different departments, different business units to deliver for you. But we're also teaming with partners external to the VM Group to deliver for you. We believe in innovation, and we're constantly thinking about new solutions that are relevant for you as we seek to better understand your needs. We want to always be relevant for serving you. And then we commit to excellence. We don't achieve this every day, but we are committed to it and committed to continuous improvement. Our mission is to be a mutual organization whose purpose is to empower our members globally to achieve financial well-being. And I want to underscore that piece. Our purpose is to empower our members globally. Empowerment starts with financial education. Knowledge is power. And so we flow from that to then the solutions, to home ownership solutions, innovative investment solutions, whether they're in our pensions business or in our wealth management business. And they're delivered across multiple channels by an expert and caring team. Perhaps those are the three most important words: expert, caring team. This is what the VM Group looks like. At the pinnacle is the mutual holding company, the VM Group. That's the business for which we're having this meeting today. And right below that is the VM Financial Group. The VM Financial Group, together with all its subsidiaries, account for 97% of the group's revenue, certainly for the year 2024. So you'll see all the subsidiaries: VM Building Society, VM Investments, Money Transfer, VM Finance, VM Overseas, Pensions Management, Wealth Management, Wealth Funds, and Property Services are all under VM Investments. And we have other associates, Caroland and BCIC, BCIC Insurance. And then on the non-financial side, VM Innovations is a holding company there, with VM Real Estate Holdings and VM Property Services as two subsidiaries. And of course, we have the VM Foundation, through which you heard earlier. So 2 divisional holding companies, 10 operating subsidiaries, 3 associate companies, plus the VM Foundation. We're full service, offering savings and deposits, loans, investments and pensions, payments, real estate services, and insurance. Based on our history and well-honed competencies, we believe that we have a strong distinctive advantage. We present that to you, our members and clients. More than any other institution in the Caribbean, we know how to create wealth through real estate. It's a common theme in 8 companies listed there. The mortgages in VM Building Society, the real estate unit trust in VM Investments, the real estate fund in VM Pensions, the range of services in property services, the specialized finance offered through VM Finance, the property insurance offered through BCIC. I could go on. No one knows real estate or creating wealth through real estate like VM. Thank you very much. Message got home. Good. And so this is what VM looks like. Through our subsidiaries and associates, we offer services in 6 countries outside of Jamaica. Did you realize that? No, you didn't. Right? So we're in New York, our representative offices, New York, Florida, in London, BCIC, Bright's business in the Turks and Caicos and Barbados. Caroline does business in Trinidad and Barbados. And of course, we have VM Finance in the UK. But this group is transforming. We're not the same group that we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So we have introduced new products and services, diversified our range of products and services. We have implemented a digital transformation strategy. We have rebranded the group. We have reorganized the group to establish VM Group and VM Financial Group. We have licensed VM Financial Group. We have since established VM Real Estate Holdings as a holding company for some of our properties. We have increased our shareholding in BCIC from 31% to 44%. And even this year, we have continued that transformation. Michael Howard in VM Properties, in VM Money Transfer, is leading a change there. We had operated ourselves 8 Money Express locations, and we're on the way now with a process of franchising those stores. And Michael has done a really good job with that. Thank you, Michael. We are an advocate for building a better world. So we take environmental, social, and governance responsibilities very seriously. We're committed to proper waste management, to promoting social cohesion, to adhering to best-in-class governance standards, not only at our boards and board committees, but at management committees as well. And then we're committed to Jamaica's development through the work of our foundation, through the lecture series that we host jointly with the UWI Mona campus and through our participation in the diaspora movement. Last year, we are one of 3 legacy partners. Last year, the VM Group had the responsibility of chairing, and that fell on me to chair the most successful diaspora conference since it was established. So we're very pleased about that, and I thank all our team members who made that possible. And for all the work that we have done in recent years, the VM Group has been recognized. We don't work for recognition, but when it comes, it's a source of encouragement for us. So, internationally, we have been recognized in the last few years as the best banking group in the Caribbean by International Banker, second among Caribbean banks by the Financial Times. For 3 consecutive years, the corporate finance CFI.com recognized us as the best advisory finance team in the Caribbean. The European recognized us. The Global Banking and Finance recognized us as the best CSR company in 2022. And then locally, for 2022, we won the RJR Gleaner Honor Award for Excellence in Business. VMIL earned 3 awards at the JSC Best Practices Awards in 2024. Give the VMIL team a round of applause. We won the Bureau of Standards National Quality Awards. And a few years ago, for the large company category, VM copped 6 of 7 category awards for the service excellence. That's your VM Group. And then let's continue. So what about the bottom line? Well, we're doing good. We had a tough year in 2023, but I'm so proud of this team. This is a team in which I'm well pleased. This is a team, you know what that phrase? This is my son in whom I'm well pleased. Well, my team is a team in which I'm well pleased because 2023, VM Group reported a loss of $374 million. We delivered a positive bottom line last year of $823 million. VM Financial Group had a profit of $581 in 2023, and that improved to $1.59 billion in 2024. Last year when we met, we promised you that we would deliver better results and we did deliver better results in all the areas that we targeted, better management of our interest spreads, increased fee income, including from credit cards and expense controls. I'm going to now invite our newly minted group finance. This is a team presentation today. You like that? All right? So we're now going to invite our new group CFO, Frederick Williams, to tell you a little more about our financial performance, after which I'll return.
Thanks, Courtney. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I will also use the opportunity to extend a warm welcome to our directors, our team members, more importantly, our clients, as we discuss the performance of your company. Jump forward. All right, great. All right, so I'll just take a quick look at the operating environment. We will look at VM Group's performance highlights, VM Financial Group, and then we will take a look at each of the strategic business units. We'll look at our strategic alliances, and then at the heart of everything that we do, VM Foundation. So for us, our operating environment is spread across a number of countries: Jamaica, Barbados, United States, UK, and Canada. And we can see the GDP growth rates in these economies where VM has a footprint has showed mixed performance in 2024, with Jamaica slowing to negative growth due to the impact of Hurricane Beryl. For inflation, general declined in 2024. The outlook for the developed countries reflect the political and geopolitical shifts across the world. Jamaica is expected to remain within the BOJ's target range of 4% to 6% looking forward. In terms of interest rates, the central bank policy rate, so the BOJ started to reduce interest rates in mid-2024. We closed the year 1% lower at 6%, and this has further declined by another 25 basis points in 2025. And for Jamaica's unemployment rate, lower in 24 compared to 2023. And this general trend continued through into 2025 with a record low of 3.3% in April of 2025. So as a group, we continue to monitor our operating environment, particularly the geopolitical shifts as well as regulatory changes that could have an impact on us in 2025 and beyond. VM Group's performance highlights: we delivered strong operating revenues of $14.8 billion in 2024. This was a 40% increase over the $10.6 billion delivered in 2023. The core components of operating revenue, net interest income, and fees and commissions maintained the upward trend in 2024 and grew by 10% and 22% respectively to $6.5 billion and $2.6 billion. Over the last 5 years, the compound annual growth rate for these two categories amounted to 8%, reflecting strong and consistent growth. Other operating revenues of $5.8 billion reflects strong growth from foreign exchange trading and gains on investment activities. Over the last 5 years, operating revenues compound annual growth rate amounted to 11, and when we adjusted that for the one-off transactions in the respective years, that amounted to 9%, indicating good customer-centric revenue growth. The drive for customer-centric revenue growth is supported by the growth in our loans and deposits, as well as assets under management. VM Group's deposits increased by $10.5 billion in 2024 compared to 2023, reflecting your continued confidence in us as a financial institution. Our loan portfolio, primarily from VM Building Society and VM Finance, our UK subsidiary, increased by $3.6 billion in 2024. And for the group, assets under management from our wealth and pension management business lines increased in 2024 by $12.1 billion compared to 2023. The group is also supported by our strong capital base and continues to meet all our regulatory capital adequacy requirements. With respect to operating costs, in 2024, our operating costs were $14.8 billion allocated across the group in terms of staff costs, $6.4 billion, impairment charges, $1.2 billion, depreciation, $1.1 billion, and other expenses, $6.1 billion. This is one of the main areas of concern for us as a group. Therefore, greater focus will be placed on reducing operating costs while supporting the strategic growth initiatives. 2025 will include the impact of our major operating efficiency program targeted at streamlining the operations in our branches and support structures. So as the President indicated for VM Group, we are happy to report improved profitability of $823 million compared to the loss in 2023. This was due to the core revenue growth across the strategic business units. We note we have a lot of work to do on our cost-to-income ratio of 88.5%, which is targeted for further reductions based on the operational efficiency program. For VM Financial Group, which is the licensed financial holding company for VM Group. This company consolidates the results of all the financial sector companies within the group. So we are even happier to report the stronger profitability performance for VM Financial Group of $1.6 billion in 2024. Given our corporate structure, VM Financial Group reports a higher profit than VM Group due to the results of the non-financial companies within the group, and VM Group, the ultimate parent company, recording an impairment loss on an asset that's in receivership. Now let's turn to the performance in each strategic business unit, starting with VM Building Society. VMBS achieved net profit of $937 million in 2024. Operating revenues grew from 8.1 billion to 10.7 billion. That's a 32% increase. Deposits increased by 9.6 billion to $151.5 billion, with a 5-year compound average growth rate of 9.2%. Over the same period, VMBS's loan portfolio grew 4.5 billion to $124 billion, with a 5-year compound annual growth rate of 9.3%. VM Investments achieved consolidated net profits of $555.7 million in 2024. Positive contributions were obtained from our private equity investments in Caroland and KP REIT. We have strong performance from our brokerage unit and funds under management of $37.4 billion, with good returns from our unit trust portfolios. VM Pensions, offering a full range of pension services, recorded funds under management of $70.6 billion as at the end of December 2024. This reflects a 12.4% increase in funds under management year over year. VM Finance, we are particularly proud of this strategic business unit, which was started in 2018. This company is based in the UK and provides secured property financing to experienced property professionals under a specialized lending program. Additionally, as authorized by the Financial Conduct Authority, VM Finance acts as a mortgage intermediary that advises and arranges residential mortgage contracts for individuals which is to purchase homes in the United Kingdom. Since inception, VM Finance has advanced more than £200 million with an average loan size of $1.5 million in that market. So for this unit, we are extremely happy for the progress that it has made. Another unit that's doing well, the President mentioned it, VM Money Transfer. VM Money Transfer increased its market share to 9.43% based on a strong growth in remittance transactions relative to 2023. It expanded its network of partners and is on a digital transformation journey with consistent growth in its direct-to-account transactions. Currently, approximately 34% of transactions have migrated to this digital channel. Turning to the non-financial strategic business units, this includes VM Property Services and VM Innovations. VM Property Services continues to be a significant player in Jamaica's real estate and property services markets. At VMPS, we're focused on real estate sales and rentals, property valuations, and property management services. And as you can see, they're showing marked improvements year over year. VM Innovations, that's the fintech subsidiary within the group, has been mandated to identify opportunities to grow and diversify our revenue streams by creating new business models and collaborating closely with VM Group's business lines to advance their digital transformation projects. A few of the projects that they delivered included the VM Money Transfer V-Link. We upgraded the Vicky AI-enabled chatbot that will deliver 24/7 digital engagement for our members. Strategic alliances, we're also happy to look at their performance in 2024, starting with BCIC. BCIC VM Financial Group holds 44% shareholding, and they're a significant strategic partner for us. They continue to deliver sustainable profits and steady dividend income stream, and showing increased profitability in 2024 of $593 million. Caroland, that's a fintech company offering peer-to-peer lending with main markets in Trinidad and Barbados. They now have a regional loan portfolio valued at over $60 million as at the end of December 2024. KP REIT, that's an investment in associates for VM Investments, reporting strong profitability of US $5.4 million in 2024, and total assets grew 22% to US $86.6 million. And Canopy, a significant strategic partner, provides life insurance to VM members, up to 5 eligible family members, and also to VM Group's business customers with up to 10 employees. So as I invite the president back to continue the presentation, we take a look at VM Foundation. We also treat VM Foundation as a strategic business unit. In 2024, VM Foundation supported a number of communities and provided scholarships, grants, and donations of over $15 million. This positively impacted the lives of 90,000 Jamaicans, and we will continue to execute on our programs for parenting, community development, and youth development. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Frederick. Good debut. Yeah, give him a round. Yeah. Okay, as I said earlier, I shall return. I'm back. So let's talk just little bit about what we did. Those are the numbers. What do those numbers mean for you? And for you, we offered an expanded pool of savings last year. So the iSave is our flagship account. It's an installment savings account. All of us should have an iSave account, right? You and your family members and your neighbors and friends. We introduced critical life insurance on our credit cards. We expanded online options for our members and clients. We increased our ABM network. We launched VM Wealth in Barbados, and so brought 1,300 new clients into the VM group. And we rolled out our suite of business services and introduced business credit cards. And pleased to say that we are now an affiliated financial institution for the Development Bank of Jamaica. So business loans can be accessed, for the productive sector can be accessed through VMBS. We measure ourselves, first of all, in terms of the growth in active membership. And we had significant growth last year. These are active members. We welcome new people, and accounts that were previously dormant were reactivated. So we increased our active membership from 363,000 to 536,000. And included in that group were over 1,000 new corporates, SMEs, and nonprofits, which represent an increase of 27% over the previous year. We have a loyalty score last year. These are people who say that they would recommend VM to their friends and family. And so at 49, which we're not pleased with it, but it's still much higher than the global average. And so far this year, we're trending even higher. So we give thanks for that. And the customer satisfaction survey averaged above 80%, driven by members and clients indicating that we're a good corporate citizen as well as a secure, trusted financial partner. We introduced 6 new products last year. Sorry, let me just go back. 6 new products were introduced last year, including the business credit card, as I mentioned, and we have continued to increase our investments in our IT infrastructure to ensure that our members and clients are provided with increased access, choice, and convenience. And of course, we upgraded and enhanced several online platforms and applications, including the client portal in VM Wealth, with the easier account opening, especially for simplified account opening. And many people like this, and we're very pleased with the numbers. cardless deposits at our ABMs. You do not have to walk with your debit card to make a deposit at VM ABMs. Did you know that? You found out something today, right? And so we are very pleased that over 90% of all transactions done by our new members, these are people who have opened accounts within 18 months, 90% of their transactions are being done on an electronic channel. That's mobile banking, online banking, or ABM. So I want to thank our new members for using those channels and for continuing to give us your feedback. Very important to us, our team. Our mission statement would say we do all we do through an expert and caring team. And so we continue to invest. I'm going to ask our Chief HR Officer, Dayton, did he disappear? He went outside. Okay. But anyway, so he's gone outside to take care of the team members, right? So we have a strong team engagement score of 73%, which is above the global average. Oh, Dayton steps in. Dr. Dayton Robinson is our Chief HR Officer. 93% of our high potential team members are retained. We delivered instructor-led training to 825, and we have identified successors, because none of us will be around forever. We have identified successors for all senior leadership roles. We mentioned our investment in the UWI Mona VM Group Distinguished Lecture Series. We had two prominent lectures last year. The first from Dr. Simone Badal, who has done some excellent groundbreaking research relevant for breast cancer and prostate cancer. She has identified, she has actually isolated cells that are for people of African descent. Much cancer research was not done bearing our conditions in mind. And so that's a really significant breakthrough research, because it will mean that the medicine going forward will be more relevant for our use. Yeah? We have some brilliant scientists in this Caribbean region. And then we also had a lecture from a Harvard professor who spoke to us on artificial intelligence and digital transformation. So that's a bit of our past. What about the future, 2025 and beyond? Well, first of all, we are in a changing world. And so we wish to be more resilient in this changing world. And we're going to share about how we're going to be building that resilience. What does this changing world look like? We have economic uncertainties that we're all familiar with. We have regulatory tightening. In Jamaica alone, we have Basel III, Twin Peaks, financial holding company obligations as the central bank seeks to have consolidated supervision. There are no guidelines for how to assess cyber investments and to protect ourselves against cyber risks and climate-related risks. All of these things we have to ensure that we're in full compliance with. We have technology disruption. Generative AI is a big deal. Machine learning, Internet of Things, quantum computing. What do all these things mean for the VM group and for your business? Demographic transitions. We have aging population. We have 4 generations now in the workplace. How do we manage all of that? And we have climate vulnerabilities, more fiercer hurricanes, warmer climates, right? So how do we enhance our resilience and build a fortress that endures? We think we do that through staying closer to our customers. Yeah? Becoming much more efficient, continuously strengthening our risk management, and continuously strengthening our expert and caring teams. I'll just share some highlights of what we plan to do for the future with respect to all of those. So we're committed to offering more customer-centric solutions. We plan to offer products and services that our members and clients need. So that's why we do so many surveys asking you, what else do you need? What do you need that we're not offering to you? And we have a really good product development manager in our customer and brand team, Shavana Bright, who works with the business teams to design new products. And just last week, there are 3 new loan packages that were developed in response to your needs. And so the students who are pursuing graduate studies, for example, will tomorrow hear about some new products that we have designed for their needs. So that's VM listening and responding. We're going to be using data to better understand and respond faster to all members. We're going to be leveraging technology to provide more access, more online options so that our members can bank on their teams. Did I hear to that? Yeah? And we're going to ensure that at our member engagement center, we know that this is a pain point, that there's someone available 24/7 to speak with our members when they need to have their questions answered from wherever you are in the world. So locally, we're going to be expanding our range of services to Jamaican businesses. Paul Elliott, who is head of the Business Society, will tell you about that. But globally, we're going to be diversifying our funding sources to better serve our UK-based customers. VM Finance in the UK is a significant part of the future of the VM Group. And we're making great progress there. We have great plans in New York to improve our service to our members in the tri-state area. And of course, we have some wonderful plans for what we will do in the Eastern Caribbean through VM Wealth Barbados. We're going to be offering more customer-centric solutions through more payment solutions. Other card products, we have 3 new credit card products that will be launched between now and this time next year. We will be launching a Jamaican dollar classic card. Many of you have asked for a classic Visa card, the US dollar business card, and the US dollar platinum card for personal travel will be launched in 2026. And of course, you have been asking for international debit. We now have that project that has been launched, and you'll hear the launch date for the card, the introduction date for the card soon. Through VM Wealth Management, and VM Investments Limited, more investment options, Res Merchants and Res, can you just stand and wave to your members? We'll be offering more private equity products for expanding our private equity portfolio, more structured products so that you can participate in some of the real estate opportunities that we have. And we'll be expanding the pool of unit trust funds, such as the Real Estate Development Fund. That's a non-diversified fund to benefit from our expertise in creating wealth through real estate. And then retirement options. I'm so proud of the work that this team, our team in VM Pensions, have been doing. And I think, Natalie, can you just stand and acknowledge the work? Now, what has happened is that, keep standing, Natalie, because since 2025, we have been appointed as a co-investment manager for the Tourism Workers Pension Scheme, right? And we are now the pension manager for the Jamaica Fire Brigade, all by ourselves, your VM Group. We're very proud of that. But what I'm also very proud of is the fact that more Jamaicans who are self-employed or employed to companies that do not offer a company-sponsored pension plan have been targeted by Natalie and her team, and now they are offering to them customized, approved retirement schemes. So well done. And what that means is that in your most vulnerable years as retirees, if we are blessed enough to get to those years, the VM Pensions team is working to protect you in those years. That's what that means. But we spoke about business banking. That's a new big thing in the VM, business services. And I'm going to invite Paul Elliott, who is CEO of VM Building Society, to tell you a bit about what we're doing for the businesses in Jamaica to help Jamaican businesses thrive. Paul?
Thank you, sir. Let me step back a little bit. Okay, thank you, President, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I greet you well. I welcome especially our members. I always have a lot of good fun and conversations with our members, so I welcome you first because you're the reason we're here. I also greet our directors and our executives and the wider team. Business services. as Courtney mentioned, this company has been changing, and we have been doing a lot of new things, mainly driven by your voice, the members. We listen to what you ask us to do for you, and we've been hearing more about the things you want. International debit comes next year, but our business services is important. We played with it for a couple of years, but in 2022 we launched with the primary objective of providing exceptional premium service to small, medium, and corporate entities. And you probably hear this being branded around, but I don't think any of the financial institutions in Jamaica over the years have found a way to solve this problem of banking SMEs, as we call them. And as such, we decided to take a step back and then look forward as to how we could do this. And we've started on a journey. I'll tell you about what we've done so far. But so far, we have 13 highly skilled and proficient team members set up in that unit. It's a centralized and slightly decentralized model that we've started with, aimed at serving our business customers. Okay, so here's what we've done so far. Since our launch, our team has supported local businesses across multiple industries. We currently serve 4,500 business customers or members. Our SME and corporate members have trusted us with their deposits totaling, yes, that's $45 billion of business deposits we have, and looking to grow. Thank you for that. We have provided funding to local businesses in the form of loans and other financial solutions in excess of $21 billion. Right, including syndicated loan deals. So for our members, essentially, if we take on an exposure that we think is a little too big for us, or we want to spread the risk a little, we partner with other deposit-taking institutions to do the deals. We have syndicated loan deals valued over $3 billion, commercial development financing valued over 3.16, a difficult space to be in, but we have the right team, we think, to navigate the challenges that come with being in a development space. Over 1,300 businesses are enjoying the convenience afforded by our business online solution. So we have the personal online banking, and we have one for business as well. Thank you, sir. As an approved financial institution, AFI with Development Bank of Jamaica and Exim Bank, we can now provide businesses with more affordable funding solutions as well. Okay. So our service sets us apart. I mean, in everything we do, all the banks will offer the same business loans, will offer deposits, but our service sets us apart. And so we have a team of 13 with deep expert knowledge, and we continue to invest in more people, in support for the team, in training, to make sure that we're staying on top of what we need to stay on top to serve our members. And experience in business and corporate segments. We take time to understand unique needs and to present solutions to meet these needs. I can tell you that I am often amazed at the willingness of the team to travel from Kingston to Montego Bay to Hanover to Manchester to St. Elizabeth to meet with clients and to understand people and meet them where they are. It's not easy to bank small businesses because we still have a significant level of informality in Jamaica. People don't have the right things for you to bring them on. And that's where our understanding of, meeting people and taking time to ask them questions and to help them to understand how we can help them better. We capitalize on the group's range of services to customize and integrate solutions, including capital markets, private placement, pension funds management. Courtney just spoke about the level of pensions, and we're quite low in terms of people having access to pension. And for most of us, we know a lot of us are, in fact, the pension funds for our parents and grandparents. And that's a problem we have to solve if we're going to solve the issue of poverty in Jamaica. So we partner, if we go out and we find an SME with employing 20 persons and they don't have a pension fund, we bring Natalie in. If we find a company that's looking to list on the junior stock exchange or looking to raise monies on the cap market, we call Res in. and we say, "Rest, come talk with this team." So we're leveraging the strength of the group in order to, to help our SMEs grow. Take care of the needs of your staff by, as they say, approved pension fund, affordable insurance through strategic alliance, and on-site financial wellness program. So we're doing it, we're trying to do all of it at the same time, but it's necessary. We provide value-based support, personalized client relationships, flexible, innovative, customized financial solutions, operating accounts. Now, the only thing that sets us apart from the other banks, we don't have a current account, but who needs a check? When was the last time you wrote a check? The check elimination process program is well underway, and in a matter of a couple of years, we won't have checks. So we have operating accounts, which allows you to earn interest on your cash balance, and that sets us apart as well. Loan solutions, innovative, customized to meet the unique needs of our members and stakeholders within their value chain. FX trading, who knew that we are big on foreign exchange trading? We buy, we sell, FX. And so whenever you're having conversations about your foreign currency needs, please give us a call. We have competitive rates, fast settlement, expert guidance from our traders. Payment services, including credit cards, SWIFT, etc. Payroll services, digital channels. World is changing. Most of our new members are in fact opting to do their business online or using the channels. And if we don't have it, we're in trouble. And as such, we are now accelerating a program of work to have international debit card. Online access to fast, local, and international wire transfers. And of course, cardless deposit at our AGMs. I'm quite pleased about that one because I was asked to work on leading that program of work. And so, and mostly because we have a lot of our members, this is the point to the customer as well. We have a lot of our members who have residential mortgages, and a lot of them live abroad, or they live other places, or it's an investment property. And their tenants are coming into the line on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday, on a Friday, stand in line to deposit, and they're saying, this is too much. Can we have an option? And so, listening to our members, we decided to ensure that we have the access to deposit at the AGM without a debit card. So you don't own the account, but you can actually deposit. All right, so this is where we are. We're committed, while we serve, we're committed to helping businesses grow and to thrive. And that's important, right? Helping business to grow and thrive. So looking ahead, at VM-based business services, the team invites you to build a partnership with us. So give us a call if we don't find you first, and likely is that we're going to find you first based on the program of work we have. If you are a business owner and you are unhappy with your bank, maybe your financial partner shouldn't be a bank at all. It should be a VM Building Society, right? An entity that you own. And let me throw another one in there. Whether you're happy or kind of happy, or even if you're happy, everybody needs a little more happiness, right? So you could probably just give us a call and see if we could make you more happy. All right? So we invite you to have a talk with us. Like I said, we're doing some new things. We've expanded our programs to look at some special allocations, for example, towards businesses that don't neatly fit into to your bank thing. Here's what you have to do to get a business loan. Here's what you have to do for us to bank you. So there are 10 things on the list, but you only meet 7 of them quite neatly. And we're saying 7 is good enough. Let us see if we can work with you. So you don't have prepared financial statements. It's expensive, it's hard to get, but you deposit your money and you show discipline. We know what you're doing. We can do a financial statement with you and have you sign off, right? You're willing to do some other things under a prescribed program of work with us. We will help your businesses to grow. So with that, I thank you and I hand over to the president.
Paul is quite a salesman, isn't he? So, but he's selling a good thing, that's the thing. I'm going to invite our business services team to stand. Latoya and team, could you stand? These are our business services team. They're doing a great job, having a significant impact, and led by Latoya Williams, who will raise her hand there, right? So please speak with them. Please speak with any one of those professionals immediately after. Let me just wrap. So, very importantly, we have launched a very important group efficiency exercise. And the ultimate goal of this project is to reduce our cost to income ratio over time to below 60%. As you heard Frederick say last year, it was 89%, way too high. So we are implementing a group-wide efficiency project in collaboration with the London Consulting Group. The immediate short-term target is 78% or better, meaning 78% or lower. And we're starting there with VMBS, that's the Building Society, and then it will be implemented across the group. But alongside that, to advance our digital transformation, we are partnering with Google Cloud and Abacus. And in fact, we have some representatives of Google Cloud here. Leo, could you stand, Leonardo, and Shoaib from Abacus? And they're partnering with us. We're going to be using the Google AI platform, Vertex, the API gateway, and we're going to be co-innovating to introduce lots of new solutions for you, our members and clients, for your financial well-being. So generally what we're saying is that we're going to be using technology to expand our services to you. And we're going to invest in the technology infrastructure. Stephen Shim, who is our new VP of IT. Stephen, can you just stand and wave your hand? Stephen is leading that improvement in our IT infrastructure. So from both projects, from both the London Consulting Group project as well as the partnership with Google and Abacus, we are expecting to automate manual processes, to digitalize routine workflows, to optimize our workforce, and to reconfigure our IT infrastructure to reduce the total cost of ownership. Very important. We are committed to excellent risk management. We're going to be using technology. Our Chief Risk Officer, Dennis, I introduced him to you earlier, Dennis Gray, to better anticipate and mitigate risks in key areas such as credit risk and market operations. We're continuously strengthening our cybersecurity controls to better protect your assets and your personal data. And then finally, very importantly, we're committed to building an expert and caring team. And this team is responsible for helping you to serve you, to help you and so we're ensuring that they are recognized and rewarded for great service provided to you, for sales effort, for back office work done. We are doing work to engage them more. We're doing work to ensure that they are appropriately empowered, and that is through investing in training. And then our expert and caring team are very involved in our communities. Our team members right across the world are committed to being involved in our communities. And I'm so proud of the VM Foundation because we launched this year, April, a community grants program where we are now partnering with many foundations and community organizations across 7 parishes. And I think based on the work that Samantha and her team are doing, we're impacting over 40,000 lives through those community projects. So I close with a challenge to you, our members and clients. I'm going to ask all the VMT members in the hall to stand as we make this challenge to you and ask you to partner with us, all the VMT members. And it's to you, and I'm asking you, I'm inviting you to join us on a journey. Because Jamaican people need financial well-being. Jamaica is a most unequal society. There are many financial products that people do not know how to access. Please join us in that financial well-being, in that mission to spread financial well-being. Please give us the opportunity to serve you better. Allow us to broaden and deepen our relationship with you. So call us and say, you know what, I already have this account, but I would like to access this other product or service from you. But very importantly, here's what I'd like you to do. Invite us into your communities. Invite us into your schools, to your neighborhood, to your churches, to your service club, to your businesses. We will turn up. And we don't need to leave with any business on that day. We wouldn't mind that, of course. But we will follow up. We just need to be able to share the good news of financial education and financial well-being with your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues. Thank you very much. We are committed to you.
Thank you, Courtney and team. Ladies and gentlemen, the word of the day is committed. You think this team is committed? Amazing. They're committed to you. And that's what I think we are grateful for. Every day, the opportunity to be committed to you. And we thank you for that as well. The next section is about comments and discussions about what you've heard, both the audit report and the report from the chairman and CEO and team. So we open the floor for such comments, and the microphones are dead center. I think that's the only one, right? So please feel free, ask us anything. We look forward to your questions. This is our favorite part of the AGM because we get to talk to you one-on-one.
Hello, mic check. Livingston Young.
Yes, sir.
As I talk about Google, the debit card, debit card, may I ask somebody?
The debit
may I ask somebody of VM, what about the debit card? Most merchants, such place, I won't tell the name of my place. They use the thing, the chip card, but the card when you use them, not swipe it no more. So that outdated. We'll ask if you look into the situation, please.
Okay, as far as I know, we have the credit. Yeah, you want to use that? Debit card. Got you.
Yeah, so we agree with you that that project has been long delayed, but this has been, I'm pleased to say that we have finally launched the project to introduce our debit card. We're working through with our partners now to establish a firm schedule for the introduction of the product. We expect it to be mostly at this point looking like the first half of 2026, but we'll keep our members updated on the progress of that project. All right? Paul, is there anything else you'd like to add? Okay.
Okay, thank you. I have a question from Jerome on YouTube. I'm not sure we can answer this, but what is the timeline to list VM Finance? Very astute, Jerome. Also, are there plans to list BCIC?
All right, Jerome, good question. So I assume you're speaking about VM Financial Group, the holding company. Not VM Finance is a UK company. So Jerome, I assume you're speaking about VM Financial Group. Our group CFO, Frederick, our group treasurer, Brian, and the other members of the executive. Brian, can you stand? I don't know if the team know your group treasurer officer. We are working through, we have a capital plan that has been submitted to the board. Our plan at this point, depending on market conditions and so on, is that by the end of 2027, probably going into 2028, is when, by that time frame, depending on market conditions, we should offer you, our members, the opportunity for ownership, direct ownership in VM Financial Group. That's the plan at this point. But many things can change because, as I said, we live in a time of economic uncertainty. Regarding BCIC, I think you're asking that because of the transaction recently done where BCIC now acquired J&GI. We're very pleased with that transaction. What it means is that your VM group owns 44% of the largest general insurance company in Jamaica with market share of approximately 28%. That's a big deal. And I think Jerome is a logical thinker because he's then thinking, why not take that company to the market? We are thinking about it, but we don't have any plans for that as yet, Jerome. But we know that we will call you when we're ready, if we decide.
You'll be the first to know.
You'll be the first.
Well, second to know. Any other questions?
Yes, you can turn to page 161. Note D and B and C. The group, dear Mr. Chairman, 2024 financial assumption discount rate, medical client group. That's D, look at D.
Tell me that page again.
Page 167. D, B, and C. The group.
Yeah, we just We're just trying to find it. Give us a second. You found Frederick? So the question, what's your question?
The group, 2024, 9.5% in financial association, discount of rate of medical client group, 8%, that's 2024, and 2023, 11% and 8%. Explain to me, Lokovitan, please.
So I think what you're looking at there is a sensitivity analysis that we run to see what the best case and worst case scenarios are. And that's a requirement of our audit. Frederick?
Right, and this is in specific relation to our pension. So we have a defined benefit plan. So we'll be doing the valuation for that every year and reflecting the impact in the financial statements. So those are the rates that we use. And these rates, as a matter of fact, are rates that we get from the Institute of Chartered Accountants every year to use.
Okay.
30 page 125. You there, Mr. Chairman?
I am there.
All right, the balance at December 31st, 2023, 7,746,000. Income achievement losses. You can we have explanation at dash, I don't understand that signify, of 988 million in 2023 and 2024. The transaction between two companies.
Okay.
Again, so page 125, this refers to the statement of changes in equity for VM Group, the company. So the first number that you referenced, that was the issue of shares in 2023, when we actually did the reorganization of the group. The second number you referenced, that's the loss for the year of 988 million. That's the loss being reported for 2024 for VM Group, the company. So that's
that's at 2023.
No, the 988 is for 2024.
Okay.
But that's for the company, VM Group, the company.
The share capital, listen, Mr. Chairman, it was when we buy the IPO, it was what, $2 something, but it dropped. It dropped in increase. In increase, should they have $3-4? I don't understand.
You're referring to the listed company in that case, VM Investments.
VMI, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a listed company you're referencing in that case. But this is dealing with VM Group.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
But just... All right, leave it. Yes. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Michael Ramsey. I've been with Victoria Mutual for nearly 50 years. And I own my own home thanks to Victoria Mutual.
Thank you for that, sir.
And I'm very impressed with all the financial numbers today. Very impressive. But I need to emphasize that for young professionals, the housing market is totally unaffordable. How can Victoria Mutual help in this really desperate situation? We're going to lose our young professionals if they cannot get affordable housing.
Yeah, thank you for that. We remain as concerned about this. It's not only about the mortgages that we can provide, although we try to provide that assistance through the tenures of our mortgages, for instance, and the fact that you can co-borrow and so on. So we try to do it through that type of instrument. However, we're also working with developers as well to do developments that will be a part of the housing market in the future. And hopefully those will also be affordable to a certain tier of the market. We don't have the solution for the rising prices in housing. All we can do is provide the support on the financial solution side. Courtney, I don't know if you or Paul.
So 10 years ago, the entry into the markets was considered quite difficult. We did talk about the combination of a deposit and closing costs, you are probably 30-40% of the transaction cost. And that has changed quite a bit through some lobbying. We're now doing up to 100% financing in some cases, especially we still have the product for business owners for up to 100%. We've carved out a special fund for that. But for first-time home buyers, we have an attractive 95 to 97% financing plan. As the chairman said, we can't control what happens in the open market. Developers build. There are several iterations of what's considered affordable housing, but I'm not sure what's affordable. What does that mean? The bottom line is that if you apply for your home earlier, let's say you're 30 years old, a young professional working for 5 years, and you save at least the deposit to get in or the closing costs, and we lend you 100%, you then have up to 40 years to repay. Now, if you look at an amortization schedule for a 30 or a 25-year mortgage for someone who gets into the market at age 35 or 40 versus someone who gets in much earlier in their 20s, that time, the period, makes a significant difference in the amount that they have to repay. And that's where the affordability comes in. That's how we get young people into their homes. And then, of course, you have the energy partnership that lowers a significant part of the cost of that home to a 1 or 2 or 3% interest rate. And if you join with someone else in your family, a husband, a wife, a parent, then you end up getting ×2, $7.5 million. So there's several ways to do it. I think what we have promised at VM is that if you speak with us, we will demystify the process for you. We'll hold your hand and we'll show you how to get into your own home. We've been doing that for 147 years, so we'll continue to do that with you.
Thank you, Paul. It's not a complete solution for all the housing woes, but we try to do our part. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, hi. Can you state your name?
I am speaking on behalf of my member, Doreen Britton. The president mentioned that there's a great investment in IT. I would like to find out, how do you track customer complaints? Going to the bank, the VMBS in arbitrary since April to find out about money that has been missing from her account. And she has been getting the runaround. The money was okay in January. In February, the deposit was short. In March, it was missing. In April, it was missing. In June, it was missing. And she has been visiting the bank since April. And each time she goes, she spends hours there. What customer service are you talking about?
Okay.
How do you track complaints?
Yeah. Well, first, let me say that we're very, very sorry to hear about the members' issues and the members' travails. We take that very, very seriously, and we're going to have somebody come and speak to you directly and get that information for you. As you know, we wouldn't know offhand, but we want to take the information and get to the bottom of it right away. So I'm going to ask somebody to come and speak with you.
No?
Right away? Yep, right away. Yeah. Okay. And then we can speak again. We can speak at the end after you've spoken.
I have a question, right? And my name is Montel Alexander. And all right, I joined NHT, and we'd like to purchase a house. But each time, all right, I go to the bank one time, we a loan. But I want to qualify. I want to buy also like $50 million. But I qualify for 8.1 from NHT. But
you qualified? No, sorry. Say that again. You qualified for
8.1.
8.1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So the question now, I earn $64,000 per month, and the house way I'm looking for right now is like $50 million.
Got you.
So I want to ask a question, like, how can I get the additional money to add up on that?
Okay.
To buy the house.
So again, let me have somebody come and talk to you specifically, because your issue is very specific, right? But it's affordability. So we're gonna have somebody come and talk to you and just take your details, and see if we can help you out in that regard. Okay?
Okay.
Can I get somebody?
God bless.
You didn't say your name, sir?
Mantel Alexander.
Mantel Alexander. Sorry, you did say your name. So here comes Diane. And Diane, it was a very good prayer, right, earlier. So she can help you.
Okay.
Right. There you go.
I'm a priority.
So, yeah, man, go with her.
Amen,
Go with her.
amen.
Thank you. Go with her. Yes, ma'am. Let me take one. Right. Let me take one from the online before I go. Why does updating your record take so long and is so stressful? Who's going to take that one? Updating record.
So we have our own challenges in terms of updating records. The people are all over the world, and I'm not sure the specific issues here, but we have made significant improvements in the use of our 16-branch network, our member engagement center, to update customer records. Coming into our branches is sometimes a pain point, especially if it's after the 25th, we have to kind of sit and wait for a while to get through. But we have several ways. So Elisa would like for you to send us some info so we can reach out to you. If you're trying to update your records, we'd be happy to have someone call you from a member engagement center to ensure that you can sign up on an indemnity form, and so you can then submit your updating your documents through the MEC, or we can send it to our branch.
Okay, thank you.
And we have, and Kerry's just reminding me, of course, we have a new online onboarding solution that will make things easier for our members going forward.
For updating your records, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing 4 people here and a couple online. We do have a Q&A at the end as well, because we do have some business that we're going to get through. So I'm going to take the members standing, right? Let me take 3 questions, the next 3 questions at a time, and then we'll answer them after that, right? So please, ma'am, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Kerry Tucker, proud VM member. I'm so proud of all the products, especially that cashless one. I did it, that cardless one. I didn't even...
Cardless deposits.
Yes, I didn't even know about it. Anyway, last month, I went by JNGI to renew my insurance. When I went there, I saw that the persons in the branch, they were transitioning to BCI-C.
BCI-C.
Yeah. I was asking them if I will still be able to get the same benefits that I was currently getting from JNGI.
Yeah.
But they said that they couldn't tell me anything. So now that I am at my bank and my bank holds 44% in Mr. Campbell, I'm wondering if I will still get the same benefits.
Yes, Ms. Kerry, and I can confirm that your current terms remain in place. If there are any changes, you will be advised. You're going to be even happy going forward.
As always.
Money on top of money.
Pleasant good evening.
Yeah. Okay.
Pleasant good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Simone, proud member of VMBS.
Hi, sorry about that. Yes, Simone.
I have a question that the people in the bank don't know how to answer. For somebody who already own a home and ready to purchase them vacation, home, them future home, you don't have, what do you have in place for that?
Yeah, thank you. All right, I'm going to take that question. Let me note that question, Paul, and then we're going to take 2 more and then answer the question, Simone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, don't answer. Wait. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Anna Richards here, member and mortgage holder. My question is regards to interest rates. So if all commercial banks are governed by BOJ, how are some able to offer lower mortgage interest rates than others? And why don't mortgage rates fall in line with BOJ's reduction in policy interest rates?
Thank you. Anna, we'll answer that question forthwith. I'm going to take 1 more, and then we're going to answer all 3. Yes. No, I'm going to get to you, sir. We're just going to take 3 at a time, and then we'll take the last 2. Yeah.
Colleen Grant.
Hello, Colleen. Please go
Member
ahead.
of VMS.
My question is, I noticed that the CFO mentioned something about the operational costs and how it impacts the expenses. So what I want to find out is what is he going to do to make the expense less? Is it going to impact the human part of it? Because I noticed that technology is kind of taking over. I'm not fighting technology, but I'm just asking because that would mean there are going to be persons left on the outside who is going to support the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Colleen, right? It's Colleen, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Colleen. Okay, so first question about the second home purchases.
So we do have several products you can tap into. I mean, if you've paid your mortgage over a number of years, there are a couple of things that's happening. You're building equity through an appreciation in the value brought about by inflation, and you're also, every time you make your payment, which is a combination of your principal and interest, that principal payment is actually creating more equity for you. So I'd ask someone to come to you to kind of see what, so I see you're being spoken to. So you could basically take an equity facility to facilitate the deposit and closing costs. If you have significant equity, you could just take the entire amount if you're buying an investment property. So I'm sure you'll get the options offered to you. And we do have from time to time reloans that we do where we offer our members a reloan of sinking funds. So if you paid $10 million on a $30 million mortgage, we give you back that $10 million as a loan without you having to incur stamping costs. So that's another product that we have that we don't talk about every day, but now you know today. So if you're paying a mortgage for a while and you need money for anything, just give us a call. And oh, by the way, we're about to send out a reloan offer to all our members now. So in the next week, you will see your email populated with an offer for a reloan.
Great, thank you. And then the next question was regarding interest rates and the interest rate efficiency from Anno.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question on the interest rates. It's a good question that allows me an opportunity to just provide some financial education for everyone, right? The lending rates will differ from institution to institution, driven by differences in our deposit mix, our business models. So for example, because at the end of the day, financial institutions like ours, we are intermediaries. And so we live off interest spreads, the difference between the deposit rates and the lending rates, mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, business loans, etc. So if one institution has a portfolio that is heavily weighted in, say, current accounts on which they pay no interest, then typically they will have a lower average interest cost, average deposit cost, than another institution that may rely heavily on, say, fixed deposits. With me? So what we have to try to do is, as much as possible, we want to give you good interest rates on your deposits. So it's a difficult balance to provide competitive interest rates on deposits that encourage you to save while allowing people who need to borrow at a reasonable cost. So how we do that, we have to manage our operating expenses so that we can live off thinner spreads. We have some challenges in this country. For example, we have the asset tax that is based on 0.25% of our total assets. That's a huge figure. From VM base, that's near $500 million. So if we didn't have that asset tax, it would have put us in a better position to live off a thinner spread than what we're living on now. And then we're doing other things such as improving our operating efficiency. You have heard about the projects we're doing in collaboration with London Consulting Group and the Google and Abacus teams. Those are all projects aimed at making us more efficient so that we'll be more profitable even with thinner spreads. Yeah? Good, thank you.
Well, Anna, you notice that whenever everybody complains about interest rates, it's not the savers that are complaining. It's the borrowers, right? Because the savers are getting interest rates that are that are attractive. So like your iSave and so on, we try to pay rates that are going to be very attractive to our members. But then of course there is a trade-off with our lending rates as well at the same time. So we hope to do better, right, as we go along. Thank you for that. And then lastly, we had Colleen asking about our efficiencies.
Yeah, thanks
and
for
what
that
those
question,
implications are.
Colleen. So I'd say for us, the operational efficiency program that we're focused on with the London Consulting Group takes us to look at the processes that we have in terms of how we are serving all our customers. So we're looking at the service delivery in the branches. We're looking at the support structures that provide those services as well. So it's a very comprehensive program. We're assessing the specific activities that each team member is doing and looking at what can be optimized using technology to do things differently. We speak of the investment that we're making in technology. We speak of the transaction migration that's happening now. You see the information in terms of our new members using a lot of our digital channels. So with that occurring, we'd want to have more of that. Where we need to educate members how to use these channels, we will spend the time and do that. So for us, it's looking at what we do, how we do, and who is doing it, so that we can actually come up with the best solution to deliver that service to the customers. So that's the focus for the program. So it would have some impact once we have assessed the volumes, look at the transactions, look at the processes, we can make changes for improvements, and then, you know, we're having the impact on staffing, then, you know, we'll have to make sure that we manage that properly going forward.
Yeah. So that's a realization of the commitment that we give to be as efficient as possible to you, our members. And we take it very, very seriously. So that's what that's about. Okay. I'm going to take one from online and then you'll be next, sir. What plans, if any, do you have for serving Canadian members? Will you ever reopen an actual physical office? If no, could you provide a specific dedicated line of contact for our Canadian members? This is Miss Biggs on YouTube.
Yes. All right. So, Miss Biggs, thank you for your question. I can imagine maybe you were a part of the audience that came out to see us last year when we were in Canada. The Canadian discussion is one that has been ongoing for a couple of years. First, you know, after closing, it was an absolute, we're not coming back in with a physical presence. But again, our members are our members and they have their voices. And so the trip before the last one, we had a young people presentation, and we had a big old discotheque, and the room was filled to capacity. The last time we went, we had some other strategic meetings, and we're hearing about ways we could re-enter in some kind of way. We have a committee set up, and we're discussing what we do with Canada. We do have a diaspora page. We can serve you through the Member Engagement Center. And we do have, the shocking thing for me when I went is just the amount of Jamaicans, young people that were in the room that had migrated 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months ago. And they are all of some of our bright young people. There were doctors in the room, there were teachers, there were accountants, just a lot of young professionals that had migrated. The thing about the Canadians is that most of them tend to get on the home ownership ladder here before they do it there. That was another interesting thing I found out by discussing. It's so hard to get on the home ownership ladder there. So they're buying properties here first. And we do have about just below 30% of our mortgages to our diaspora. So it's an interesting discussion. But we're talking about it with our overseas head, Leighton, and we have weekly meetings set up to discuss it. Could I just add one thing, President Chairman? Is it Anna? So Anna, let me do a bit of showing off here. When interest rates on mortgages went down to below 7%, VM led that charge. Our thing to our mortgages, to our members, is that we try to pay the best rates on your deposits and the lowest rates on your loans. And when the policy rate moved from 0.5 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up to 7%, it took us all the way up to policy rate getting to about 6% before we adjusted mortgage rates. So think about that. Our adjustment was delayed and delayed and delayed. I took some beating for it from my president. It was delayed because we thought about you, right? And so once we have the opportunity in terms of our cost structure with our deposits, we always think about you first.
Yeah.
Sure.
That Courtney boy, I don't know. I was with Paul at the time. Anyway. Okay, so Livingston, I'm going to ask to wait for the next question session, right? But I'm going to take this gentleman here. Thank you. No, man, let me take it first. You've had 4, and you can have 5, but you have the 5th in the next section.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daniel Smith. I've been around here for over 50 years, Jade Victor Mutual. And,
Thank you for that, sir. Applause for Mr. Smith.
My concern is I have been in a time when I used to see interest rate 8, 10, and 12% interest. And no GCT, no income tax added to all of that, taken from that. So right now, I see when, and I'm speaking as a senior now, if I go into the bank, I'll have to pay a fee to withdraw my money. And other institutions that I know of in Jamaica don't do that. So my recommendation is that you should stop.
Okay. All right, thank you. We'll take it on advice. Oh, okay. So just a reminder that withdrawals from your ATM are free. And I know other institutions that don't do that. So you should tell them to stop.
But the ATM has a cap on it. So if you want more than 150,000, you have to go in bank.
Well.
And therefore you pay a fee.
Well, if you're drawing 150,000 at a time, come and see me.
I can't find you. I don't know where to find you.
But yes, there is an in-branch charge for withdrawal.
So my recommendation, you stop. Another one.
Thank you.
I go to the New Kingston branch, and this is one of your staff who has been sitting there for quite a while and not moving up the ladder as I think she should. Very efficient person. So look into that.
I will. I'm going to come and tell me that up here. Thank you. Livingston, next section, because we have to take the order of business. Thank you, Livingston. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will have another Q&A at the end, so you can store up your questions. And anybody who doesn't get answered at that time, I mean, we have a number of people in the audience. We're all available to you, but we do have to move the meeting along to get to these items. So bear with us, please. Okay, so at this point, we'd like to have a motion for the approval of the auditor's report, the financial statement for the year ended 31st Director 2024, and the director's report. Could I have someone to move that motion? Sorry, say again, ma'am. Beverly Christoph? Beverly, you will allow Livingston, you allow Beverly to move? Yes, okay. Beverly moves and Livingston seconds, right? Okay, this one is a vote, ladies and gentlemen. So I have to ask by show of hand, all in favor? Okay. Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you very much. The next resolution for consideration is the election of directors. The following directors retire pursuant to Article 81 of the Articles of Incorporation, who, being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. And these directors are Mr. Brian Golson and Mrs. Sandra Shirley Oxley. I therefore propose a resolution for the re-election of the directors en bloc and ask a shareholder to approve the motion. Yeah, in a second. Okay, Mr. Brian Golson, you had met earlier. He is chairman of VMBS as well. And Ms. Sandra Shirley Oxley is chair of our audit committee, but unfortunately she could not be here at this time. But you can find her on page 27, and her bio is on page 27 as well. She's been a long-serving director and served us with great distinction. She's usually here, but could not make it today, unfortunately. Everybody ready to vote? Okay, so Courtney moves. I will second. And all in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, the motion carries. And I'm sure the directors, thank you. Oh, that's just the en bloc. Sorry, that was the en bloc. That was the approval of the en bloc, to take it en bloc. Now I have to ask, for the directors themselves to be re-elected en bloc, you've just approved that. So can I have a motion for the re-election of Mr. Brian Golston and Mrs. Sandra Shirley Oxley from the floor? Yes. Yes, sir. Just you have to give me your name. Robert Gibbs. Okay, and second? Beverly Christoph. Okay, thank you. All in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the directors are re-elected. Thank you very much. At this point, I would, however, like to pause to acknowledge the retirement of some of the directors. You heard about Noel DeCosta previously, but directors Philip Silvera and Colin Wharf from the VM Group Board have retired, and we thank them for their faithful and sterling contributions. Both Philip and Colin continue to serve on other boards of the VM Group, so their contribution continues, and we thank them. We thank them for that. Resolution number 3, approval of directors' remuneration. For consideration at this time is the directors' remuneration. The amount of $11,787,000 included in the audited accounts of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024 as remuneration for their services as directors be and is hereby approved. That's the resolution. May I ask a shareholder to approve the resolution presented, right? First mover, Livingston. Second, Langston Bloomfield. Hello, Mr. Bloomfield. Lancet, sorry. Okay. I'm asking for a vote on this. All in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it, and the motion carries. Thank you very much. Resolution number 4, appointment of auditors. We now move to the next resolution for consideration, and that is the resolution for the appointment of auditors. KPMG, as auditors, having signified their willingness to continue in office as auditors, are hereby reappointed auditors of the company to hold office until the next annual general meeting at a remuneration to be agreed with the directors. May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of KPMG as auditors at a remuneration to be agreed with the directors? Boy, we're going to give you a pension when you're done. Second? Could I have a seconder? Sorry, say again? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Drisdale. Okay, all in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. I thought you worked for us and not KPMG. You're working for KPMG as well, it seems. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Damien, you have your work back. That's good. Congratulations. That's resolution number 4. And I think that's the... Okay, so I think those are the formal resolutions, if I'm not mistaken. Yes? So at this time, I invite you to bring to our attention other matters. See, I told you we were coming back to this, which may be of concern to you. Please make your way to the microphone if you would like to raise any other business.
Mic check. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm at a match prof, Mr. Chair, but this hear me out. At the ICF, let me just open it. Help me to understand, because, it was 1.5%. All right, when you think when you get the dividends our saver pay are 2 to 3%. So help me to understand that.
I'm not sure if you're talking about the interest rate. Because the interest rate is not 1.5%. So,
Let me just go by investing it is just 1.5%.
oh, when you started investing, yes. So that is when the rates would have been lower. What is the?
So in other words, you have to upgrade the money if you get more. No, man. You have to put more money to get more return.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
correct.
we're trying to understand.
It's paid based on the balance that you maintain. So the best way to get a higher interest rate is to commit to higher savings.
Yeah, because it's the 2 to 3% if you have less, you know, because you're not getting a whole power fight. That's why, when me just hope it was 1.5%. Let me just hope
It's tiered according to the balances. So,
Yeah.
So,
All right.
please review your budget and
Yeah.
commit more to savings.
All right, you can turn to page 65. Note 14D, deferred tax, asset, and liabilities. The group. First one is investment and securities. The other receivables. Help me understand. In others of 59,597,000. The other one in income and the other one OCL. Explain to me the first one. What made up this liability of $59,597 or cent? Page 165. Yeah, note D 14, deferred tax asset and liabilities. The group. Movements in temporary deferred during the year end of as the following. Explain to me, please. Investment and security, other receivables.
So just talk.
All right. Yeah, so for this particular note, this is looking at the deferred taxes. So we have income tax that we would calculate, but we also calculate deferred tax, which is due to what we'd refer to as temporary timing differences. So depending on the asset class, in the case of securities or other receivables, within that number, we actually calculate a deferred tax amount on those balances, depending on what it is. So I'm not seeing the specific number that you're referencing now. Is it Livingston? Yeah, but I can walk you through that particular note.
As of January 1,
Yeah.
as of January 1, you have right use of asset, 18,147,000. The question, the thing me based upon is what made up this other receivables of 59 million of January 1, 2023.
Okay, so this would be the deferred tax balance that we started the year with. The opening position just on the deferred taxes, separate and apart from what we have in other receivables. The right of use assets, those would be in relation to the leases. Again, so these are the opening positions. The starting January 1, 2023, then we're actually moving through in terms of the amounts to be recognized in the income statements, other comprehensive income, and the closing balances to December 2023. But just to point out, this is the 2023 note that you're looking through. We can look through the 2024 note separately. Now, if you have another, I can go through this one in detail with you.
Okay. Thank you, Livingston. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your patience. Hello, member. Miss Green.
Good evening again. I'm Sophia Green.
Hello, Sophia.
My question is, on the online platform, is there like to pay bills or so? Is it like you can add them as payee?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
you have that?
Yes.
Because I've been looking, but I don't see it on mine.
Somebody's going to show it to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Somebody, please, Sophia, please show Sophia where that is on the. All right. Okay. Thank you. I think you were first, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, Chairman.
Good afternoon.
My name is Eric Heslop.
Mr. Heslop.
Right. And I have two questions.
Yes, sir.
Earlier on, the group CEO indicated about pain points. I would like to know what kind of time frame does he have to, to address the pain point, especially members' complaints. management system.
So, Mr. Hillsop, thank you for your question. We believe that we are already doing that. We track the complaints. We have a complaints management system that diligently records, well, our team members record the complaints in that system. We have a team that actually follows up for quick resolution. We track that, report it to the executive team and to the board. In fact, today the board received a report on the rate of complaint resolution since the start of this year. So if you do have an experience in which you have not had a complaint resolved within and we have service level agreements, we have standards within which we expect those complaints to be resolved. If you find that yours has not been resolved within a time that is satisfactory to you, please let us know and we can try to understand what went wrong there and try to fix the root cause.
Well,
yes?
I don't want to address my personal experience here because I want to be very general. But I did have a specific experience in terms of issues that needed to be addressed. And it took about 3 months for those issues to be fully resolved. And I had to to write several emails, and I've also had to copy it to the group CEO, right? And I must say that I was very pleased with the response of the group CEO, which is yourself. But other managers left a lot to be desired. A lot. So, and that following on from my next question, what is the dominant culture of the group, of the VM group, the dominant culture? What's drive the VM group?
Okay, so you, Mr. Heslop, you heard about our values?
Yes, I heard.
Member-focused integrity, teamwork. Right. So that is what we try to live every day. We don't always succeed, but that's the dominant culture that we hope to drive, right? So it starts with the mutuality, starts with the member focus, and goes from there.
Yeah. I am not seeing the member focus. That's what I was looking for. I am not getting that member focus from the VM group.
Okay.
Right? And I am saying to myself, as a serious member who has been with the group for over 30 years, and I believe that I have saved, over time, within the group.
Yes.
You can check my savings record. I am seriously, thinking of moving my business from the group based on the experience I have had.
Understood. And we appreciate that. We would regret if you did that, and we would take your complaints very seriously, and we're going to try and address them. Thank you. Somebody going to talk to you?
Mr. Hessop, thank you for your feedback. We'll speak with you after. That's not the experience that we wanted to have. What I would say beyond what I already said with respect to the complaints management system, the complaints are logged. We looked at them by categories, by types of complaints. We track them at 2 different levels in management. So there's a team led by our group customer experience manager, Denise Williams. She works with a cross-functional team to understand the root causes for those issues. Denise, stand, please, and wave. She understands the root causes for those matters and seek to get them addressed. And then those that require greater support are escalated to a group customer experience committee that I chair, and which has representatives from key functional heads and business heads and so on. So I believe that generally our statistics indicate that we're moving in the right direction and more customers are pleased, but we do not take for granted any member of the group. And so if you are unhappy, we are unhappy. We'll try to understand why you are having that experience, and we hope to convert you to be a WOW member of the VM group very soon. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Beverly Gustav.
Hello, Beverly.
First of all, I really want to congratulate the VM group. You are doing a very good job. I am very proud to be a member.
Thank you.
I've been a member for quite a long time.
Thank you for that as well, for being a member very long.
I have two issues. First of all, I don't understand. While I appreciate the fact that when you go in branch, you're seated and you're given a number, why does it take so long for you to get attended to? You understand? Why? I don't understand. Many people had to walk out. I just didn't walk out because I had my business to do.
Sure.
But I was very unhappy.
This is a branch issue, right? So,
Yes, it is.
Paul, you want to?
My next question is, I
You,
overheard our CEO. He's all our CEO, and I love him very much. I thank him for his work. He has made a very good change in VM since I joined. I can tell you that.
thank you for that.
Yes. But I overheard him mention something about like tertiary education, like a grant. Is there a grant? How does a member access? No, there's none.
Not a grant, it's a new loan. Probably
A loan,
probably
right.
Paul or Latoya could tell you about it, but it's a new loan.
But I'm interested in that education loan.
That Samantha will tell you about when she gets this microphone from me.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for your business.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Beverly, for the question. So the VM Foundation does offer scholarships on various levels. At the PEP level, for those who pass and go to high school, we have a junior plan scholarship, which we offer 3 scholarships. We also offer bursaries to at least, I would say, 60 plus members. Last year alone, we gave out 74 scholarships and bursaries, totaling almost $7 million. So we are very committed to education. We also have a university or tertiary institution scholarship, future plan, master plan, STEM, UTech. We have an arrangement with UTech specifically in the Faculty of Built Environment, where we offer the scholarship from the 2nd year right through to the 4th year. So for 3 years, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year. And we do have a pensioners bursary. We want to thank our pensioners who willingly give towards a bursary to students who are going into their final year of an undergraduate degree.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question, Beverly. And if you need any more information, feel free to come and have a word with me after.
Okay, thank you. Yes, member. Yes.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name.
Good evening.
Actually referring to a master's degree.
Well, okay. I think you can take that offline.
Many scholarships, and master plan is one of them for anyone pursuing a master's degree. So thank you.
Okay. There's Latoya. She'll talk to you. Yes. Go ahead, member.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Kaden Smith. Someone asked a question in terms of affordability for housing for the young persons. But my question is that, is there, let's say, future projects in terms of like schemes or like something where it's affordable in that range for the, like, you know, the future pipeline for young persons and affordability? Schemes, construction, or something in terms of that aspect?
Yes, so the question was, are there future projects that would speak to affordable houses?
Or like schemes or
So we're getting more interest from developers coming into speak with us about doing development loans, partnering with them, and they're trying to enter this space called the affordable housing space, right? And so we're talking to a few of those developers now. Affordability, of course, is going to be based on whether or not they can come in and build at a cost that will allow for them to lend to you, the young person, where I would say about 25 to 30% of your income will satisfy a mortgage payment. That's affordable. It's not always going to be something in Kingston 6 or 8 or something on the North Coast where luxury development is happening, or in Montego Bay. It may be something slightly on the outskirts, but with the road networks improving and improvement in transportation, young persons, your first home is not going to be your ultimate home. So you may need to be looking at maybe people moving out of a dorm like Portmore, maybe slightly out of town, and you drive in. You have some other developments in Old Harbour. People are in other parts of St. Anne, maybe slightly out of Orcharius. But there are units you probably can afford, people looking to sell. You partner with a realtor, for example, and take advantage of a motivated seller to get in. But yes, we're having more and more developers coming to us wishing to build in that space affordable housing. What you want to do though, meet with one of my team members and have them put you on a program, and I save for home. You'll be surprised how in 2 or 3 years and how quickly it flies by that we get you to commit to a saving plan that places you in a position where you have your closing costs. You're able to probably put some equity in, and rather than take 100% financing, which puts your debt service ratio a little over and you get into trouble, that additional equity you put in could actually position you quite nicely for a mortgage that you can afford. All right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Jamar Clark. As a young person, a lot of us have lost faith in the traditional 9 to 5, and we want to venture off into owning our own business. As an app developer, I just opened my own business, and
Congratulations.
does VMBS have anything in store for us in the future for persons just starting out, for business development loans, for somebody that's just started, don't have 1 year, 2 year bank statements? Is there anything that you guys can do for us?
Bank of Jamaica, who's coming?
Listen, we applaud the spirit of entrepreneurship with our youngsters. I think most of us here, our parents, are finding that our kids are moving into that space. So I applaud you. Here's the thing. All the persons sitting here are members. We're lending them, and we're lending their monies to persons who have entrepreneurial spirit, who want to borrow to do what they have to do. New businesses come with certain risks of failure, and so you ask us to back you with depositors' money, and we want to. What you have to do for us is give us allow us to be confident in what you're doing. Maybe in the first 2 years, a first year, a DTI bank is perhaps not the place to source that kind of funding. You hear a lot of people talk about how they started their business and they leverage their own savings. They work for 2 years and then leverage that savings, and family and friends who believe, and you have some other sources. But once you start to grow your business, make your business bankable. Make sure that when you're talking to us, we can see that, listen, your business is a viable going concern. And the fact that it is at a stage where you're ready to go to scale and we can back you. So you want to put all your money into a bank account. That's the first thing. You want to stay away from that informal space where you're free to bank your money. And if you have even greater ambitions, you want to then also find a small accountant that prepares your statements for you. And so you want that kind of documentation. So Latoya's team is sitting there. We have great examples in VM of new businesses that have just started out, and they have established a blueprint for how to stay disciplined and focused. So we'd love to be a part of your growth story. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Charmaine Birchall.
Sharon.
Well, recently I went to the Duke Street branch trying to do a deposit, and I was unaware that you can only deposit, in-branch deposit is have to be over $100,000, and I was unaware of that. That communication, that information, I didn't know about that. So I went to the Duke Street branch, and I was sitting, and you take a while before you reach to the teller. So when my number calls and I reach up from, the teller told me that the sign is right here, say they don't take any deposit unless it's over $100,000. I said, seriously? I didn't know. So he showed me the information, it was right beside him. So I said, why wasn't this communication at the front that we could have known instead of sitting there so long, waiting, and the changes? So when I'm saying when you have in-branch changes, let us know from when we enter the bank instead of when we reach up right at the teller, all
Yes.
this information.
Before Paul says anything, I agree with you. That is always, should be something that we do. We don't always get the communication right, but that's a very good point. It should be upfront. So thank you for that, Paul.
What's your name?
Charmaine Bircher.
Charmaine, we apologize for that. And I'll let you know that we are in the process of putting in what we can call permanent channel ambassadors. So when you walk in, these changes will have people engage you before you get to the teller to ask what you're doing. We have people who need some retraining, so we'll have you taken to the ABMs, show you what you need to do, and so on. So we sincerely apologize for your experience. If there's anything I can do after, let me know to make it right for you.
Yes, the manager there was very nice because I refused to move from the teller, and she came, and there was a very nice manager. So although I was frozen, I'm glad she helped me out because I refused to move. I said, why wasn't this information at the front instead of when you reach at the teller?
Nice.
That's members' privilege.
The
That's
manager.
members' privilege.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Gay Clunis. I just want to commend Victoria Mutual. I'm really sorry that my mom is not alive. No, because she was really an ardent person for Victoria Mutual. Even with our 6 children, she made sure that every one of us took out a Victoria Mutual. And even, you know, I just look, when I reflect back, I just think back and I say, boy, it's really something. You know, she always instilled in us about how we should save. But, you know, especially I want to give thanks to Victoria Mutual because I remember I had my account with Victoria Mutual and I had not been to Victoria Mutual for years. And I went back to the bank to do some business with my 2 children. And I remember the young miss who dealt with me, she was very, very polite. And she said, but you know, Miss Clooney, you have some money here. I said, what? After so many years? And she said to me, yes. And I said, boy, Victoria Mutual is the only bank that you can go and you have your money put down there and you can go back for it. You know, I was really impressed, I'm telling you. Because, I mean, being a government worker, I know that in the system, all the other banks, when your money stay over time, they put an advertisement in the newspaper, and then it goes to the government, to the consolidated fund.
Yeah.
You know, so I really stand this evening to give God thanks for Victoria Mutual.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for your mom.
Right.
Thank your mom for us as well.
Right. Another observation I've made, I don't know if Mr. Campbell, I'm sure your team is aware of it. Even the government service, I'm glad to see what Victoria Mutual is now doing for pensioners, because I myself, I'm a pensioner. But what's unfortunate is that as a government worker, you cannot have more than 1 pension. When I started in the service, pension, you didn't pay half and half. No, over the years, it has now changed. Okay? But what I'm thinking is that maybe what Victoria Mutual can do is go in with them and speak with them concerning the same I save. Because I believe I, took out one. I was a bit, but after speaking with your manager at Harpatry, I was very impressed by him. And I, started the I save. But I think, God, for you, you can do something with the civil servants. Because many of us are now retiring, as you mentioned earlier. The age group is now going, a lot of us, And if you should have something in place, since the government does not allow someone to have more than 1 pension, is it that you can, institute something in your Victoria Mutual for civil servants that they can start saving towards retirement?
Absolutely.
It's not really for pension per se, because the government does not allow you to do 2 pensions, okay?
Thank you, member. That's a good idea.
Yes, and please, God bless you all. Thank you.
Our CEO of VM Pensions is going to talk a little bit about the ARS program, right? Because that is indeed the program that you can save individually for your. Just a minute. She's going to just explain a little bit about our approved retirement scheme, which does, in fact, allow you the freedom to save for your pension.
Afternoon, everyone. Yes, that afternoon. So we have the Prime approved retirement scheme. It pretty much is an individual retirement savings vehicle. So persons who are unemployed in a non-pensionable post, that means that the company that you're employed to doesn't have a superannuation fund or the general pension plan in place, you are able to put aside those amounts towards your pension. It gives to you the same benefits, the tax benefits. So the amounts that you put into the ARS are deducted from your salaries before taxes are applied. The investment income that you earn on those amounts are also tax-free. So that is the vehicle that we have within the VM group that allows for you to put aside some pension, some amounts to provide you with a pension when you get to retirement.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Okay. Yes, member.
Good evening again, everyone. I am Simone Maddox and a proud member of this noble institution.
Thank you for that, Simone, and thank you for your business.
I really must say that you all are collectively with us honoring the legacy of the clergymen who started this institution. And I go further to quote the Jamaican psalmist who said, "Are you so nice?" My observation, or perhaps my inquiry this evening, is whether or not you have a desk set up by your VM Foundation for those of us who are now in the mentoring class of citizens. We want to give back and to usher in the new generation of entrepreneurs and homeowners.
Great.
Thank you so much for wanting to help. We believe in mentorship, and I'd like to add that we, at the foundation, all our scholarship recipients receive some kind of mentorship, and we're the only foundation that actually does that. We also have a program that helps high school students to understand social enterprise as an alternative business option, for which we're actually looking for mentorship. So I'd be happy to speak with you afterwards, and we do want our members to come forward. We do want our members to support the work of the foundation, and by extension, help with nation building.
Thank you, member.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Nadine Powell here.
Nadine.
I was late and I didn't get a token, so may I get mine, please? Which location can I go to pick it up? I'll make myself available. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please and thanks. Okay.
She's serious.
If all the questions were like that, it's so easy, right?
Good afternoon, all. I must first congratulate VMBS for a wonderful work that you have been doing in the Jamaican society and helping to see our dream come true. My name is Dawn Johnson Mew. I would like to say to the VM Foundation, my daughter was the first recipient and put you on the map for the foundation.
All right.
And her name
Thank you.
is Karen Mew, and she's an attorney. And I'm
All
sure
right. Congratulations.
I opened an account for her at 3 months, and she wasn't able to get the prep school scholarship because they said that we were business people. But then the person there, he said that let her apply for the territory when she got there. She still wasn't able to get the whole scholarship because of doing law, but she was able to benefit. She gave back to VM. She worked with VM during the summer, and she was able to do nomination for the foundation. So I, on her behalf, can say when the mentorship program, she will definitely be able to serve.
Thank you for that testimony. And give your daughter congratulations.
Hi, Nadine again. I was just speaking for myself before, but now I'm speaking for others because they were asking where they can come and get it. So can VM persons come to us and just raise your hand. Who did you get? And who will be expecting?
Okay, we're gonna.
I know that last year I was late, but Sir
Right.
Campbell, make sure I got.
Okay, we're gonna make sure he deals with it.
Livingston again, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Our final question for the evening. You have the honor.
I have to big up the directors, everybody up there. So you know why? Remember back in the days, I just only online at the phone you just ring. Remember the whole time on there? When they have Lauren, I said she named Lauren, you just sing about Victoria. Remember that little girl? Well, one was 18-year-old. From the time, we make a whole lot of money for bands and all them something. Now we have on platform, now come a far away, so have a big enough. You understand, Mr. Chairman? So big up.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are nothing if not trying to satisfy our members every day. That's what we're about. We are committed to that. And we appreciate your patience and your support. Thank you very much. Courtney?
Just one answer. I think Ms. Guscott asked about the wait time in halfway tree. So just to say that we're actually piloting now a queue management system. And at this point, we're tracking a 20 minutes wait time on average. So I think it's much improved from when you were last there. So try it again and give us a feedback if that is not your experience. Okay? Thank you. So we're getting better and better. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've addressed all the items on the agenda and as well as your questions. And so I therefore move for the termination of this annual general meeting of VM Group Limited. Thank you again for joining us today. I invite you to visit our member services area at the side, at the back. Where are we? All around. All right, over there, all around. And we are ready to assist you not only there, but also all our team members here as well. We can provide you with more information on how VM can transform your everyday. We look forward to being with you in this way next year, where we will no doubt be discussing more stories and wins and transformation. Good evening to you all, and thank you. No, man, we are good answers. So thanks.
Invested in you right now. Turn my back on all the things we share. Everything has its value, everything has its price. All I have is obligation just to you.